So today we get to meet someone that I've actually been wanting to talk to for a very long time. I've always known of him, but we just never ran in the same circles. He's a little bit older than me, and he's just a super interesting person. So I'm glad I finally got the opportunity to talk to him. For those of you that don't know Bryan Micon, he's just like the essence of early adoption. And as you watch this episode, that's one thing that you should probably pay attention to, is just how often he's gotten in early on the cutting edge of just like new internet technology and just new ideas. Everything from Beanie Babies on eBay to IPOs on E-Trade to internet poker to crypto, Bitcoin at $1 and $5 a coin, to NFTs. He's on the cutting edge of all these things, and is just like, if there's anything to take away from this episode, it's just early adoption, early adoption, early adoption. So with crypto on the rise, I know a lot of people are going to be into this episode for sure. So enjoy this episode with Bryan Micon.
You know, my mom at the time, she's like, hey, like, you're going to have to be a trash man. Like, she literally said that. She's like, oh, you're not going to get dressed up in a suit and go do some real shit. Like, well, trash man, you do that. And like, and then, like, so now from that point, I'm like, well, fuck this bitch. I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to show that. I promise you, I'm not getting in that suit, and, I'm going to try to run it up, and we'll see what happens.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's be live.
Yeah, I understand. I don't want to waste any of this great banter.
Yeah, well, who knows when the generator is going to go out too?
Yeah, that's true. No, that's fair. That's fair. Got a Starlink here, so we got a Starlink on a battery backup for at least like an hour until I can fire something up.
Okay.
Oh, we better.
This is how we live. This is how I live. So you guys do a podcast. So this is Table One something podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do the intro, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say. Introduce everybody.
I used to be on this Market Mania, and I miss it. Now, like, all right, everybody, welcome to Table One. Welcome, my degenerates. Here's other degenerates, and this is Table One. See,
that's beautiful. With our host Bryan Micon, I'm Art Parmann. This is Justin Young.
Yeah, I guess we're reversing roles today. Bryan is going to interview us. It seems like that's really nice.
The narcissistic guest. The guest comes on, takes control of the show. That's just how it worked today. Thank you for having me on. For real, thank you. As a narcissist, I like it when people are interested in me. They're like, "Hey, we need to like talk to you. Like, you're really interested." I'm like, "Oh, it's great. You're right. Finally, somebody's noticing."
Well, I think we actually are right that you are very interesting. So yeah, no, thank you for being on there. Know our listeners are going to enjoy this quite a bit. Just letting them know, since they can see you, where are you right now?
I am in the Caribbean dual island nation of Antigua and Barbuda. I'm on the Antigua side of it, as our 95+% of the population. And yeah, we are overlooking the Caribbean Sea. It is obviously a beautiful place. Pluses and minuses everywhere. I lived in Vegas for a decade or so. I love that place too, and I like to go back every year. And like, this place is nice too. And there's like less services and more freedom and more of that. And the air smells like air. And now when I go to Vegas, I'm like, ooh, what kind of literal dusty bullshit is this? And then I come back here after a month. I'm like, like from Spaceballs. There's a dated reference. I'm 45, by the way. I'm in mid-40s. Yeah. This is actually.
I get you. I'm 44, so yeah. Like, I actually know what Spaceballs is. Art's lost right now.
I know about the Schwartz.
All right.
I'm young, but I'm just nerdy enough to know about the Schwartz.
It's fair. It's fair. We'll accept. I see why you've accepted him into your podcasting realm, Justin. No offense, Art, but I just look at Justin as like the alpha of this podcast, and I'm sorry if that's if roles are reversed, or
it's been implied this entire time, but I'm glad somebody said it. I'm tired of pretending to co-host.
Thank you.
It's
right.
All I know is I shaved my beard first, and then he copied me. So it could go either way, but his will grow back twice the girth in half the time.
All right, this is actually sort of arousing, this conversation earlier in the morning. It's a little too early.
Well, the morning wood from
Beard
Micon,
talk.
baby.
Not too
Beard
early for a
talk,
little
yeah.
cowboy coffee, though. Yeah, that's
Honestly, I mean, I don't know if it's that type of a podcast, but you saw that Brian Armstrong guy, the Live Long guy, the guy that spends 2 million on his body every year. You know
I
what
know
I'm
who you're talking about. Yeah. What
He
about him?
wears this little cock ring. I don't know if this is this kind of podcast. He's this
No,
Adam
it
and
is.
Eve measures nighttime erections, and then he posts the results like on the Twitter. And I swear to you two, I can fucking hit high score on that motherfucker. I swear to you, I can hit high score. All right, and like, I just need you to put me in. I don't know if you guys have any connections there, but I don't know. Like, you guys
To
are
the
all
cock ring
famous.
community?
oh no.
Well, I mean, it's like this
Right.
Adam and
I
Eve
have
cock
one
ring,
right
and
here.
like this Brian Johnson guy. He's wearing it, and he's posted his results of your nighttime erections. It's supposed to be a cardiovascular health biomarker. Okay, and I'm sure there probably is honestly something to it, but it's the comedy value of a nighttime erection measuring cock ring. I can't get by that into the science part. I can't get by the fact that this dude is like, all right, time to go. All right, good night, honey. Time to go to bed.
I don't know how much.
Strap this fucking cock ring on and measure my nighttime erection. All right, good night. I don't know. Just for some reason, that one rattles around my head a lot.
I find it more weird that he probably has a following of guys like you that are interested in
Millions.
these cock ring measurements.
Absolutely. There's like I wouldn't consider myself like one of the fanboys, but I would say like I'm a cursory observer of, this and other insane groups that you just kind of see on that internet there and just can't help but marvel at from your literal tower.
I think this is how all cults get started, but okay. Yeah. Yes. You're a casual observer. Yeah. Until you have a problem.
That's
you have to
fair.
admit that you have a
That's
problem.
fair. I mean, the moment I strap it on, I will raise my hand and be like, hey, they got me, hand to God. They got me. I'm one of them now. I would tell you. I'll tell you this summer if I strapped it on or not.
Okay. I don't know how much you're packing, but they got those little aura rings, they go on the finger. You can maybe modify one of those slightly.
I do not need the aura ring. No, that's not how I get down. This is a great podcast. Are you familiar with the Hitachi wand? Are you familiar with the Hitachi magic wand? This could be, honestly, who is it? Matt Stout that dates a porn star now or something? Is that, again, only a cursory.
We'll say yeah, absolutely.
Observer.
I have no idea. We'll take your word for it.
On his Twitter, it was like he's with like a hot porn star who's going to have hot porn star friends. And I just think that like we should, as you guys, as like the media, should just like extend an olive branch, because those two sectors, there's synergies between the porn stars and the poker players. I mean, they're both kind of like outcasts, like kind of you don't know. I don't know. It just seems like they're the same people.
I played poker yesterday and I got fucked. So yeah, no, I completely get it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Sapphire?
Some of them
opened a
pay for
booth,
sex
like,
or get paid for sex, and the other ones they would pay for sex. So it's like
I'm just saying synergies. A lot of them like do drugs and go to EDM shows. I don't know. I'm saying there's synergies. There's fucking synergies. All right, with both of those two sects. That's all I'm saying. And I just think you guys should have Matt Stout on, just like as an olive branch, reaching across the aisle, or whatever, just like to make up
across the aisle.
You sold me.
All right, before we get too deep in the weeds, on this podcast, we like to go back kind of in time to the beginning of our guests when they found out that normal life was not for them, and they were going to be in this gambling world or whatever weird path they went down. And I don't know where your weird path began, Brian, but take us back. Take us back in
2000.
Okay,
whatever.
He's old, remember?
Right.
So
okay,
19, whatever.
Listen, I think I know what you guys are asking for, and I guess I'll run it down for you. So like, I obviously knew when I'm like 13, I like, I'll come from a long line of doctors. Everybody's rushing out at all hours. The beeper goes off. They're fucking gone for like 14 hours. You got to save some, motherfucker's life. Uncle's a trauma surgeon. He's like a good one, write books and that shit. And like, I just see this going on. I was 13. I'm like, well, not going to do that. Nope. Look at these motherfuckers. And I'm like, they got to get dressed up all the time. And then I'm like, nope, not for me. And I'm like, I got to sleep. I'm just going to sleep till whatever I want. And it just makes sense. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to, these guys are always interrupting to sleep. And like, and I just said, I'm not going to do it. And then like, my mom at the time, she's like, hey, like, you're going to have to be a trash man. Like, she literally said that. She's like, oh, you're not going to get dressed up in a suit and go do some real shit. Like, well, trash man, there's, you do that. And like, and then like, so now from that point, I'm like, well, fuck this bitch. I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to show them. promise you I'm not getting in that suit, you know, and, you know, I'm going to try to run it up. I mean, we'll see what happens, but, you know, I'm going to take a swing. And like, it's like college rolls around and everybody's going to the job fair and like, they're like, oh, if you come to the job fair, you get a good job at like Arthur Anderson or like IBM or like, you know, there's like startups and like, which would have been cool, which if you went to MIT or some better school, I went to Indiana. So I would have went to a real school like Stanford. You would have been like, oh yeah, my dad's starting this shit. He's going to give us 3 million. Like, you know, we already have the lab set up. And it's like, yeah, no, like you could have gotten in on some real shit and like done something. But like, I wasn't anywhere close to the attention span for that. I was just like, just smoking as much weed as possible, drinking constantly, like just like trying, just like, what other kind of drugs we got? Do we got MDMA? Let's try. Well, we haven't clicked that up. We have mushrooms. Is that all right? So we do a mushrooms day. Then like, I mean, it's like that's what college was. Like, it wasn't like a series. It was all right. Then there's the fish show. I fucking hate that shit, but I will go. I will be going with you. We will go. I know all right. All my 9 closest friends are going. Yes, I'll fucking go. I'll go to the fucking show. Ganja goo balls in the fucking some fucking hippies making you a grilled cheese sandwich. Like you're like, all right, you know, I'm gonna risk it. You know, fuck it. And like that's what college was. And I was like, and then like the job fair comes, I'm like, there's no way I'm going there. Cause like the upside there, if you hit, then you have to go to fucking work every day in a fucking office or some shit. Like, you know, and I'm like, so well, here, we'll pay you $36,000 a year. And like you go to work in the office, and then like if you just like if you give me like your 20s and 30s, and we'll give you like 130K. I don't know. It's just like the whole thing seemed insane to me. And like I didn't understand why people wanted it. And I had just hit in college. I started a Beanie Baby business with my boy Bruckman. And
wow, that's a lot of bees.
Yeah, Bryan.
Beanie Babies with Bruckman and Bryan.
We called it, we would be high as fuck calling it BBBBB. Yeah, sure. Right. No. And like it was eBay. There's like a B in the middle, but it's, you know, capitalized. I don't know if you count that. We could workshop it. We can probably get another one in there. But, it's like we're getting fucking like checks and money orders in the mailbox of like an apartment, you know, in college. There's like 45 of us stuffed all into the mailbox, and then you run to the bank, and then you're like, oh, 3 of them didn't cash. Like, all right, the other 42, you know, ship the product. It was like early eBay arbitrage. We go to these sporting events, get the little commemorative cards, and then like the Cubs Gracie, the guy pitched a no-hitter or some shit, and the fucking commemorative cards skyrocketed. We're holding like 230 of them. They're going for like a couple hundred each. It's 1998 in Indiana. That's like you're about to be a millionaire, basically. You know, you're going out with your friends. Oh, what's the bill at the end of the day? $74 for all 70. I'll take that bitch. Here's 120, little lady. Like, oh. I mean, like that's, and so like, I guess that's my first taste of like, yeah, I did almost every poker player, all the good ones, or like all the kind of the street hustle, not like the mathematics solver path, but like the street hustler pool player, like sold weed kind of path is like, there's like 2 kinds of people that like end up beating poker, being very successful in it. Those like super street smart people that like just intuitively know that the solver with the 60-40 bluff mix on the river there is like, well, on the 40% when they know he's bluffing, they fucking know he's bluffing. And like, so like, you know, your solverness didn't really work, but it did, but you think it did, and you got unlucky, but whatever. There's like 2 kinds of people that beat poker. And like, I would say that I'm very much like mixes of both of those kinds of people. Like I understand the nerdy stuff and like, but also, you know, sold weed. Like, like so I mean like and beanie babies. I mean, no, Beanie Babies, honestly, and then Beanie Babies, stock market, college, and I'm like, okay, there's no way. We like, my friends and I, we also like kind of rolled the Beanie Baby money into like the first like online IPOs, like E-Trade in the late 90s. Like my grandma was like, no, don't get involved in scams. I'm like, no, it's like FDIC. We're like, it's a real brokerage. I like did a bunch of research. I'm like, I think it's a real brokerage. I don't think it's like an Indian. I'm always been good at spotting the scam. So I'm like, I don't think it's an Indian call center scam. I think this is a real brokerage. And like, then we started getting shares of like Priceline.com and like Alloy Online, if anybody's a stock trader from 2.5 decades ago. And like this like insane .com bubble we were able to profit off of like as like 19 and 20-year-olds in college, knowing absolutely nothing except we get IPO by going to this site that one of our dumbass gambler friends found. And then like we get allocations, number go up when listing, sell, try to get the next one, number go up. Like, I mean, that was like it. That's like all like we're kids from Indiana. There was no algorithm. There's no like, this guy coded the model that just beats all the traders. No, nothing like that. Just button, buy. Oh, open, sell. Just try to get it again, buy, sell, buy. And then like nothing else. And like that was like just like a massively winning printing strategy. And these like whatever. And just like, I mean, like, and when I say massive, I mean like now it's different. But like in college, if you like printed up 100K, again, you're a fucking millionaire. Like, you're a multi-millionaire. You're 19. All your friends can't find $14 to go out and get a sandwich, and 2 beers, and like you're just like like how like a mid-stakes poker player acts today, which might as well be Armani, dripped out, fucking like watches, die like they have like so much nicer shit than I have, and I got some nice shit now. But like they just like you just like see like a winning guy with 100K and like 2.5 that's like 24 years old, and he's just fucking just dripped out. He could just walk right into a rap video and no problem. Absolutely fits in.
Are they still making rap videos, by the way?
I'm an old, I don't know.
So you ran the Beanie Baby money up from
Beanie Baby,
0 to 100.
Priceline.com.
I mean, and then honestly, then of course lost it all. Cause then like, all the stocks crashed. Then you think like, okay, I'm a trader. Cause like I knew this one simple trick. Turns out you weren't. And then like, honestly, that's basically where poker like became like a focus. Cause like, again, still not going to go to the office. Still not going to call it quits when I hit 0. And also an important step was like not going to like negative 200,000 by like scamming people, just like stopping at 0 was like, and I thought I would find out later is an amazingly ethical move. And like, I was just like, okay, well, fuck.
That's a good title for a book. How to stop at 0.
Stopping at 0. Hey kids, you could just solve all your fucking problems if you just stop at 0. Like that's go get some real work. Run, build it up again, take a few months, like you could like probably solve about half the arguments you see on poker Twitter if you just stopped at 0. Like that's what you should just do.
That's good.
And like, I mean, that's a pretty good indicator too. Like, I mean, you're like, all right, like you had a grip, like, and then like you hit 0. Like, okay, well, maybe it is time to step back. Maybe not every single person that enters the tournament is positive expectation, even though you're battling against a bunch of other geniuses. But like, look, there's a bunch of geniuses battling each other. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's not it. Maybe you got to create value.
Find out where the fax machines are, and you work there.
If you just think of it as you either create value or you take value from other people, which is okay. It's fine to be a professional, take value from other people. I mean, like for me, it's very fulfilling to create value. Now, a lot of times the poker productions and some of the other stuff, you are creating value. If you like get on there and make like this content is creating value. People want to watch this for some reason. I mean, they do. I mean, there's a lot of people that live in Idaho that are like, well, fuck. I just saw Justin Young just blast off $22,000. I can't fathom a world where I would go somewhere in the daytime, lose $22,000. This guy's like screaming. He's looking at his paycheck. It's $1,400 a week. He's kind of doing the math in his head. He's like, motherfucker. This guy just like fucking just ships in my entire fucking life, like on like a yearly basis, just like on just like the month of June, for instance. This guy's like in my like 6 lifetimes of mine. And like, I mean, I'm just saying that's what they like to do. That's why they like to see poker. They like to see somebody, and it hurts too. Don't worry. Just if anybody's wondering, like the guy in Oklahoma, it fucking hurts when you lose $22,000. It's not like we're magic people and there's actually like a $16 million truck in the back. We just go take a little bit of more from. No, sir. No, sir. That shit hurts, and it used to hurt more. It hurts the lower the bankroll is, the more it hurts.
Makes sense.
It's just, and like after a certain point, then you're just numb to everything, and then you're just like, all right, I need to play the PPC. I need to feel something. I need to feel again.
Now we need to lose 50 just to be alive again. Yeah.
Just to feel it. Well, like I used to feel it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we're chasing that drug as gamblers of whatever endorphins, dopamines, whatever it is. But yeah, like the more seasoned veteran you are, the more risk you have to take. Like, I mean, I don't know if I have any more money than I had 10 years ago, but I'm certainly gambling bigger. Like, I mean, I can't wait to see what I'm going to be like in 10 years. Like, it's going to be scary.
I blow into town. I'm like, boys, where's that 3 and 6 fucking mixed game? Let's fucking go. Let's get some racks going. Let's get some racks flying across. I need to feel it. And I don't have much time. I don't have 10 years like I used to. Like, the flight's, my flight's back in a couple weeks. Like, we got to get it in.
So did you graduate from Indiana?
Nope. It was like middle of senior year, and I have like 140,000 in the E-Trade account, just staring at it. And I'm like, well, I am smarter than every man, woman, and child that's ever been born before me. There's no way I will ever need any money ever. I'm like broke in a year and a half, probably like 18 months from that statement. I'm like broke. But like, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, there's no way I'm finishing up. Like, no chance. I don't want to go to speech class. Like, I'm not going. And like, I just stopped. I think I'm like a shockingly few credits away from graduating. But maybe I'll like do a YouTube channel one day or like a thing and just go graduate. Just like go graduate, do an old school or whatever, just a real life. And
you should go to the physical location. Just oldest guy in the classroom, like finishing off those credits, polishing them off. Older than the professor.
So good. Just like today's subject is digital assets. Like, oh, God. I don't know, but I just knew I knew I was not going to do anything normal. And then like after I busted, then I knew I was going to play poker because there was a 10-20 game. It's before the poker boom. It's Limit Hold'em is all the rage. And I read like, the 3 books about it. And like, it was just like, and honestly, like, say what you want about him now, but Sklansky just had the best shit, at the time, I mean, now that would run in a completely insane direction. That's actually really, when I think about the whole thing, we should do like the whole thing one day, like the whole history of like when the internet got involved in poker and all of those people that you remember, Justin, all of those personalities. It was fucking batshit crazy. Like, it's enough for a Netflix, like, 3-part series. Yeah. But then, I mean, once I found poker, I had moderate success with 10-20 limit hold. I mean, I don't know how much success you could possibly have, but everybody's awful. And like, you'd go on Friday night and then you would like win like, $1,800. And you're just like, well, that's better than, this is real work. This seems like work. I'm 22. And I mean, like, I would say like right then and there, is just like very lucky because the online poker boom is about to happen. Moneymaker's about to win. I remember looking up the World Series, like, what is the World Series in like 2002? And I'm like, I don't really know what it is. Like, I'm like, I remember like seeing something on the, ESPN one time. And then I remember like, I'm like, there's all these results and like, one of the early poker reporters, forget his name. I know he killed himself. Tragically, I forget who it is. That's terrible, but we're gonna have to look up and like find the proper name. But he was a great poker reporter. He was one of the early poker reporters before poker reporting was reporting. And he had this nice write up, and I started reading it, and I'm like, oh, there's multiple events at the World Series. I thought it was just the main event. I'm like, well, what about the main event? Oh, it hasn't happened yet. And I remember like trying to get like updates like from 2002, and then by 2003, Moneymaker wins, and then like. It's everywhere on every TV, on everything that I see. Like I can easily, like they're just blasting me with, with 03 and then they go big in 04, 5, 6. And then like, and I remember watching it in 05 and I was like, I tell my buddy Chris Eversop and Doug Kuhn, we're in Atlanta. And I told him, I'm like, I'm beating online, like pretty good, quit my job, like run it back up in poker, couple years of busto and then, get some real work. And then just start hitting for like 20 and 15 on Party Poker and Poker Stars, and you just have a weekend where, you win $45,000, and then you're just like, okay, well, this is starting to kind of pile up, and like definitely not going to that job anymore. And I remember saying in 05, I'm like, boys, I'm going to be on that TV next year at the World Series of Poker. I'm going to. Now it's so stupid too because like probably like 10,000 other dumbasses like said that in 05 to their friends. And they're just like, I'm going to be on that TV. You're going to see me next year playing poker. And sure enough, they did. So, I get like hometown legend status in like a small bar at the Mr. C's bar in Atlanta, Georgia. They're just like, he got on TV.
You just had to do the Thriller dance and
that's what I did. And that's what I did. I thrillered my way into their hearts. And there's like some old school gamblers that hung out there that are like, good job, son. And, you know, they're like, that's why I knew you had it in you when you would beat us in the 10, 20, 40 stud game. I knew you had it in you. And it was great. It was honestly great. And then, like, I mean, obviously throughout that whole thing, there was at no point I was ever gonna like do. I guess I did do, honestly, like, if you really think about it. And then like poker, donk down, and then never win poker. The never win poker forums and donk down. I always like made little businesses, little internet nerd businesses, like I guess the whole time. And then like Bitcoin. And then like
yeah, get the seals with clubs. I mean, I remember talking to you at the M Casino, you trying to get me into Bitcoin, and I went so far over my head, I couldn't even like hold on to the thought for longer than a day.
I remember.
Yeah.
That was such a beautiful time in southern Las Vegas poker history. There was a bar that served like 93 beers on tap that you could just order for free from the poker room. Like, what? I remember sitting there the first time, like, I'm like, what do you mean? You could like, it's like a yard house, which didn't like quite exist yet or something. And it was like,
yeah.
I'm like, but it's all free. I'm like, why would you do, like, we could just play 1, 2, no limit and you just bring me anything there. Cause like your bankroll's not, on swole yet. Like I'm still, little 10, 20,000 in my name kind of guy at this point. Like, so, like, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot, you're not just, you're not making it rain. Like,
well, there's a reason why the M doesn't have a poker room anymore. And I was told, honestly, that is why they made the mistake of doing that. And they lost so much money because people would just go in there, like you said, and play 1, 2, fold for an hour and drink 4 beers that would cost them $15 a pop if they were like, buying it from the bar.
It was like the most insane selection. You're like, oh, I will tour the Belgian, like, Trappist, darks today. Like, it was like, it was crazy. It was like oh, there's a chocolate porter imported from Austria today. Well, I'll have one of those just to, haven't seen that one on the menu yet. It was crazy. It was really weird. It was really awesome. Strange. And to be fair, that led to some like insane nights, like just sort of like that poison fueled late night. You really shouldn't drink a lot of poison. You really shouldn't just poison yourself constantly. Like you really, really shouldn't. It's so socially acceptable. I mean, they set up a 100 cap poison station by a poker room once. I mean, that's, the historians are going to look back and be like, 100 different, like, why would they just, it's so
variety of poison
doing? Like there's, so many different poisons, and look at what does it do to them? Oh, it makes them just like fall down and like, fight each other when they used to love each other. Why would they do it? And they do it all the time. Why? People fly in, look at this behavior, fly in to poison the shit out of themselves and fucking fight each other. Like what? It really is fascinating behavior if you think about what we do. I mean, it really is. And then they pay the other humans.
Cheers.
They pay the other humans. They drink the poison and pay the other humans to take their clothes off to music. What are they doing? Then they throw discs at each other, turn the same 52 cards over and over, just turn those face up, and then, oh, it's shocking every time. Look, it's one of the cards. Oh my God, it's one of the cards. It's like if you're really looking at it top down. And to be fair, I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm one of the fucking idiots. Look at the card. Like I'm the same. I'm one of them. Like I'm not,
Yeah, you're on to the
better than that.
You're on to the actual digital versions of cards. You're just like the Pepes and the NFTs.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, he's getting something.
Yeah, I'm the fucking rare Pepe dealer. See, every fucking like 3, 5, 7 years, I'm just sitting around. I'm like, oh, I better reinvent myself now. The old actor's bored. What else can we try? Like, And so, so like Bitcoin, was, obviously seals with clubs. I mean, helps.
Tell us the seals with clubs story.
It's just your standard, brand new digital asset.
Back in 2009 when this happened.
No, I mean, it's just like, I think we've heard the story 1,000 times, brand new asset class, gets created out of thin air, digital money. And then, what is the first thing you want to do with anything? Any new payment system, I mean, on the real, any new payment system, it goes right to porn and gambling.
That's right. Yeah.
This brings me back, Matt Stout. Call your people. I'll call my people. Have a little party. I got a little house in Summerlin for the summer. And I'm just saying, just come over, just have a fun pool day, just whatever. And like, I just think there's synergies. There's always been historical synergies is like really the point. And I mean, you can look back in history. NetTeller, you remember NetTeller.
Oh yeah.
E-Passport, just if anybody is in their late 40s and still gambling and hasn't stopped gambling. Didn't get enough of gambling. Didn't get enough gambling, did you, Justin? Did you, Art? You haven't had enough yet, huh? You want to gamble? I'm fired up to go there this summer. I got, Bitcoin's all time high. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's gamble. Damn, I can't wait to go. Buy-ins are paid for by JPG. I'm gonna sit on. Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm not sure that I do.
If you're pumped up, it's fun to go play the World Series. Obviously, like if you're selling pieces on stake, on Stake Kings and all that, then like it's still fun to play. It's still fun. What do you mean? It's a privilege. Every time I printed a World Series ticket ever, no matter how filthy the Rio was, no matter how many of my friends got robbed in their rooms or like, at gunpoint in the parking lot for just trying to smoke a joint, it still felt really special to be able to play. Like every time I print that ticket, like you have a chance at the bracelet, it feels like such an amazing privilege to go fire the 1500 stud 8. And I like hate myself 3 hours later. Don't worry. But like, if you have like half your stack and like David Levy's like running his same, shtick, which I like actually, if you haven't seen it in a year. I like to go see the shtick again. Like, I mean, just like a couple times.
So you look forward to seeing David Levy every year. That's
every time he hugs me he hugs me with the force of 1,000 men to the point where I question like my own masculinity. That's how good and how firm he hugs me. And honestly, I have a lot of wins in the past couple of years. So I need a little G check like that just to like, bring me back down to reality. So I actually kind of look forward to it. He squeezes my hand a little too hard. I start worrying about my tennis game. Shout out to Danny. I'll fuck you up this summer. Tony it has like one click on me, but Tony Dunst is a good tennis player. Oh, and he's like training with Rublev's guy. I'm not saying that I don't, I obviously could. We all make decisions in our life, and I hit with a kid named Rodin.
You should make Tony play against you in a full suit. You might have a chance. That would be a good match to stream. In the Vegas heat, what do you think?
I think I got him in a full suit. I actually think that's a big, like we're close enough. He's here, but like a full suit is a pretty big disadvantage, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger disadvantage than it sounds. This is good though. I like this.
Yeah. If you're up like a break, he's allowed to take the jacket off.
Yeah.
Once you're on serve, jacket's back on.
I like that.
Yeah, strip tennis. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Tony?
We could again, Matt, and then we could maybe involve the porn stars too. And I'm just saying, like that's you. You said strip tennis. I didn't.
That's you.
I was still
okay. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. You were living in Las Vegas at some point. You were about to tell the Seals with Club story, and then we got onto this WSOP.
Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, so it's your standard, digital asset, new asset class, play poker for it kind of thing. I'm the marketing guy for Seals with Clubs. If you remember, I was a little too good at my job. The world is marketing. I think we all can agree. The world is marketing. So, I think some of the 90s rappers would say I was too flagrant. Okay. Some people would say that maybe in today's, to use the parlance of our times, that maybe it hit too hard because I would show up to the World Series just dripped out in a velour Seals with Clubs sweatsuit. And like, I talked to some of my friends just after, I didn't do any good in the events, but I talked to some of my friends after and they're like, you looked a little too fresh. You're probably gonna want to dust that stack off. The feds might break down your fucking door. If you really, if you get too far in the tournaments, that's why I didn't hit those years. I should have a couple of bracelets. We all know that, nice. But I just didn't want to. They couldn't take that. Putting the gold bracelet on. Being held up by the. And so, but it's one in all seriousness, the butterfly effect of what I did. I think I know Justin remembers. I would run around and just give everybody one Bitcoin when they were like $1 to $5. Just anybody that would listen to me, I would give them a Bitcoin. I'd say, try this poker site out. I'm representing it. I'm the red pro. I'm the green pro of this site. We just made shit up. It's just like a couple of people making shit up. And the boys had already started, and I was like, "Yo, let me get in on this. Like, this is my shit. I can I can do that. I can promote this. And I could, and I did. And it also was like a great vehicle to promote Bitcoin to a bunch of gamblers, because if you talk to them about currency and finance, they would like, most of them would shut off. But if you talk to them about like a free, like $5 or $10 on a poker site, now we're got the ears open, and so I think that saying, hey, just try it out on this free money. If you win, withdraw, just see it, I'll show you, just it'll work, just like that, I think was very powerful. It made it real to people. And then like once it exposed a lot of poker players to crypto super early, like back when there was just Bitcoin. So like when Ethereum came along, there was a lot of poker players that are already locked and loaded that are going to gamble on some brand new stupid digital currency. Now, granted, there was like 50 other stupid digital currencies that all went to zero, and then somehow Litecoin still exists. Somehow Ripple still exists, but whatever. The point is that like the poker community, the wider gambling community was like really outsized, just exposed to crypto early, like a lot of because of like what I did. It was what I personally did. And like I'm really proud of that. And like there's a lot of people that like made life-changing money. There's also a lot of people that come in whenever I see them, because I pop in once a year or whatever, that they see me, they're like, are you fucking kidding me, Micah? Why did I fucking do this? So they either like, it's a very polarized reaction. It was like, oh my God, I didn't have to do this. I don't have to fucking come here and play this fucking game if I wouldn't listen to you. And like, and so like there's a hyper polarized reaction when people see me, which makes me think I did something important. And I mean, Brian Pellegrino started a fucking Stargate protocol. And there's just like a couple gamblers that, no, I'm not saying I need the tokens, Brian, but like, I'm just saying, like, just the butterfly effect of all of it just got like, I don't know. High rollers are probably juicier because of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so all right, but you're living in Antigua now. Like, the feds never came and knocked down your door, I guess.
No. They came. They beat down my door. They pointed guns at me. They walked me outside in my underwear. Don't really remember the part where I'm just screaming, "There's a wife. There's a baby. There's a baby. Don't hurt the baby." I don't really remember that, but they say I was screaming that for a while. And then they like ransacked my house. And this is just what, like, again, this is not a unique story. This is just like standard, just fascist, like American police force. There's nothing really like, unique about the story. I am the only person ever convicted or pled guilty to or charged with this specific crime. It's a strange Nevada statute, something about something, carrying on something without a license. It's basically not holding a business license is the law that I broke, why the fuckers broke down my door, pointed loaded guns at me. So like there's like a pretty good amount of PTSD from that. I'd never had guns pointed at me. I'm not like, I didn't grow up in a rough neighborhood. Grew up in the north side of Indianapolis, in like the rich area. Like that's not like the doctor where they put the doctors. That's not like a rough and tumble upbringing. You're not staring down the barrel of a fucking gun that often. I don't know. Like, it seems like an abnormal thing. I don't know. Has anybody ever pointed a gun at you?
No.
You ever had any guns? See, I think maybe most people have never had guns pointed at them, but like.
So the feds broke down your door because you didn't have a business license?
The states, the Nevada Gaming.
Okay.
Nevada Gaming broke down my door.
Because
to serve a search warrant, that would later become charges that the DA read publicly. There was a little presser, and to announce the warrant for my arrest. I'm a difficult guy, so they had to come in guns blazing. I obviously have no like history of it. Obviously, I've never been in trouble before or since, and I'm just not the kind of guy that gets into trouble. I don't know. Like it's just. I guess not that kind of show. Well, I guess history might disagree with me here on this one point. I guess I am the kind of guy that did get in trouble, but I'm the only guy that got in trouble for it. You always got to question if it's the only guy that ever got in trouble for something. Like only one guy ever did that. Like it's just like, I don't know, just it feels like I don't know, whatever. Like you're just like, they didn't want me to do that. And so like you shouldn't, do that if a big mafia is like, don't want you to do something, and they're gonna fuck with you. And they fuck with me, and then I fought the law. The law won, and they made me pay a bunch of money and had to light a bunch of bitcoins on fire to pay off the lawyer and all the fines and all that. And Yeah, no, right. Very sad. And then, Bitcoin's only 300 then. And like some people, if they have a pile of Bitcoin, they'd say like, oh man, I would have saved it till there's 70,000. Most of them wouldn't.
Yeah.
I definitely would. I 100% would have. I have a great track record there too. And then I would run it back up in a shitcoin extractor. That's a little known one. And then like, it's so weird. It's such a strange art.
What's a
and then
shitcoin extractor?
long
for the people
story
okay.
for another
Okay.
nerdy crypto shit for another podcast. So the strange time in 2017 where you can blow up your tax return if you just do one simple trick, extracting shit coins for people with Electrum 2-factor wallets. It's a long story. It's a long nerdy story about freeing forked coins from Electrum 2-factor wallets. And honestly, I've lost you. I've already lost you. And like I've lost everybody else. They're gone. All
Can
right?
you see my
and
eyes
this is how I
glazing
live my
over
life.
from there?
This is how I live my life. No, like my wife understands what I'm talking about. Like 6 people that I play Fortnite with, and that's about it.
Okay.
And then a couple people from Vegas. That's it. That's the only people that understand what I'm talking about. Guy named Kevin, he understands what I'm talking about. But that's right. I fuck with Kevin. He's a good guy. But anyway, so the point is that frog pictures. Then frog pictures. Okay?
I'm with you.
I think it's pretty clear that was up next. I think everybody knew about 3-4 years ago that frog pictures were up next. Okay, all right. So, I mean, the story is so strange, like, it feels like I'm making it up every time I tell it. Like, every time I tell it, I'm like, okay, so Top Shot hit. I used to make frog pictures when I was down bad back there in that story. So it's 2016 to 18, the Rare Pepe project was just a bunch of people fucking around with a counterparty protocol, which, don't glaze over, Art, of course, uses the op return data of the Bitcoin blockchain to embed asset data into a protocol that you can just interpret these op return data. So every counterparty protocol is a Bitcoin transaction. And so these people made some cool new tokenized bullshit on Bitcoin. So I'm looking at it and I look at all the assets with the little explorer and they're all Pepes. And I'm like, well, what the fuck's going on here? And then these people are minting frogs on the blockchain. And I'm like, well, fuck, man, I'm in, like I got to get in on this. I don't know, like if that's the normal reaction there, maybe it's not, but so I got in on it. And so I minted Soda Popinski. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I minted Soda Popinski. Yeah. So, right. It's a dumbass stoner joke. A lot of stoner jokes. Everything from 2016 to 18 is memed in the 1700 card set of the Rare Pepe project. No company, no nothing. Just a bunch of dumbasses smoking weed, doing it, minting frogs on the blockchain. Why not? And like, so, you got the Mayweather fight happened within that year range. The BCH split from Bitcoin happened there. That's all memed in there. It's got Mount Gox going down and Mark Karpelis, memed up in there. It's just great. It's great. The number one card is the Nakamoto card. It's worth like 200,000-ish. I got 2 of them. And I am going to sell one during the run at some point. I am going to sell one sometime. You don't really need 2 of them. It's actually really stupid to have. Actually, why do I have it? That's retarded, honestly. I mean, when you really think about it and say it out loud, it's actually really stupid. Anyway, whatever. So probably overweight frog JPEGs. So got a ton of other ones. OpenSea.io/Rare Pepe Dealer. You can see my wares. So you can see the frog pictures that I have. I have over 100 frog pictures for sale right now. Just in case any of you want to buy
I mean,
a JPEG of a Pepe. You want to buy a Rare Pepe.
We could just put that on the green screen instead.
That's true. We could be actually inside of a picture right now if we bought it. So I'll just wire you the 200, or how does it work?
It's credit.
Let me see what I can do. Let me talk to the board, and then let me see if I can get you in to a Rare Pepe gratis.
Ooh.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do for you guys. Just,
right.
That's good. And then so now I sell frog pictures. There's a little Bitcoin ATM company here in Antigua with 3 machines deployed, and so trying to help any way I can spread just cryptocurrency awareness and just make it real for people. When you put a Bitcoin ATM somewhere, then now if someone gives them ERC20 USDT or Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever, they can go to that machine, they can get EC cash, which is local currency. And like that shit's real to them now. And so I don't know, this place is like pretty crypto aware. And so it's important to, I think it can be like a crypto Silicon Valley. I think like, cause like there's only 100,000 people here and like you can buy the passport for crypto, which is great now. And it's just like, it's a good second passport. And if you just get like 10 or like 20 like-minded degens that like want to just like make every business, like we need everything here too. It's great. It's like, then you could just like really move the needle in like the whole country. Like you can really move the needle and just like make like a fun little vibe out here.
Have you heard of the company that Justin is a ambassador for? Phenom Poker?
Nope.
No?
Well, let me tell you.
it's a
Okay, now you show me. That's fair. I got a good shill in on you at the frog pictures. You get to go. Yeah, you get to show me. That's fair.
No, I just know
Fair's
you like
fair.
to stay up. You like to stay up on all things crypto, and it's a new project startup poker site. The idea is instead of holding the coins, the site will interact with your wallet, your MetaMask, and I think they use the Polygon Matic, right? And every time you sit down at the table, your wallet like activates to play on the table, and then when you're done playing, it goes back in your wallet. That's the basic, high level view of the.
I'll go fuck with that. Yeah, I'll go fuck with that one time. See how it works. Absolutely.
So if anyone watching wants to get on there, you can get on the wait list. In the description, we'll have a link for that.
Oh,
yeah, it's supposed to launch in May for what it's worth. I think
it's not
in
on
alpha testing right now. But yeah, it's supposed to launch just before the World Series. So, but like speaking of Brian Rass, he's also one of the ambassadors. I mean, it's a who's who. So like, I wouldn't put just my legitimacy attached to this.
Right.
I'm like the eighth batter in the lineup for these heavy hitters of ambassadors. So
yeah, Joe Chong is on there. Sergio Aido is on there.
Chris Hunishin, like
it's Baldy.
Yeah,
is on there.
That's a lot of star power. It was like Virtue Poker. Remember when Virtue Poker signed up everybody?
Yeah.
Or Ultimate Poker. Remember when Ultimate Poker signed up like 48 pros or something? They like signed up like 3 pros a week until they busted like 60 weeks in or something. Do you remember that? Do you remember it was like
that sounds like how this one's gonna go?
Pro, like
call Micon.
No, I'm not saying this one's going that way. Best of luck for you guys. No, you guys are playing great. This is gonna work. This is gonna be wonderful. I mean,
the back end.
I got a good feeling about this one.
Jesus. The other thing that makes it cool is everyone gets rake back whatever percent, who cares, but like in addition to the rake back, they give you these tokens, ERC20s, whatever, which are basically shares of the company. They're specific to the company, so like if there's ever a discrepancy or
this
whatever,
sounds like 10 times worse than the shit I went to fucking the shit they fucking broke down my door for. This sounds 10 times worse. This
so you're
isn't
saying
even
I might have
close.
a gun pointed at my
Shares
head?
of the company. I was just I was wearing a sweatsuit. I wore a sweatsuit for him. I mean, the sweatsuit, it hit too hard. And now I got a Nakamoto chain. What do you think frog pictures are these days? You think I'm still at risk? Because, like, I got this Pepe suit that's fresh as fuck, too. I don't know if it's too... Is it too hot? Is that what they judge it on? Is it not really just based on, like, whether or not you broke a law? It's just if you come in looking too fresh, they're just like, fuck this. Can't have this guy, you know.
Well, they haven't knocked down my door, and I wear a lot of like Marvel T-shirts, so probably not that. It's probably not about the drink.
So what are you going to wear day one? Day one of the World Series when you come back into town, as you will. What are you going to wear?
Oh, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I think it's just like head to toe Pepe. I mean, I don't see anything else. I got these Pepe flyers, these like, you know, the kicks. And then I got a full Pepe, you know, I got a Pepe sweatsuito that's like pretty dripped out for Nakamoto card chain. Wow. I mean, I'd probably come in heavy. I'll probably come in swinging, just you know, so everybody knows, you know, Frogman's back in town. Just so everybody knows. Just so it's just like the word starts to get out. You know, some of the you know, drop a few of the panties out there. You know what I'm saying? Just so everybody knows, like, you know.
Shout out to Matt Stout again. Collab
So
on the frog panties.
Dude, I don't know. I don't really keep up at all with the community. You know what I'm saying? I like dip back into town. I'm like, oh, what about this guy? Like, no, nobody fucks with that guy anymore. You know, I don't know. Like, just shit changes. But like, so I don't know. No, so I don't know. I don't even know. But like, you know, I just think like, you know, like think like remember Frank Casella's like July 4th party,
Oh yeah.
like back in the day. Think that, but with like a bunch of porn stars. Just like think about like, do you know what I'm saying? Just like the same kind of vibe. Like Helmuth walks in, you know, and like, you know, he's like, guys, it's about me. Hey, you know, hey, how are you? Like, you know.
That's going to be you, huh?
Yeah.
Frogged out, hands out. Well, if you feel like playing some 5100 while you're in town, you can play our game. Table 1.
2 cards though. I
Two
don't know.
cards, 1 dream.
I played on that table that plays mixed games someday.
Someday,
Someday.
yes.
Does
If we have a good rotation, like we're not always in the game, but our company, our brand is Table 1 Vegas, and you know, we get Table 1
right.
when the rest of the rich people aren't there. When the peasants come in,
It's not.
then we get it.
No, I mean your game plays bigger than mine, I think. But wait, I thought is it not Ivy's room anymore? Are we not allowed?
No,
is that
not
what we say.
Not technically. No, I think it's just called table.
Yeah, they rebranded it to
Yeah.
Table
It's
1
table
after
one.
the,
It's I fucking
after the
missed
MGM.
that.
Well, the MGM lawsuit stuff against Ivy. I think he probably didn't want to be associated with them anymore.
Sorry, I know Phil watches all this shit. I'm sorry, Phil. I didn't mean to scratch a wound or something.
Imagine.
I really have been kind of checked out for a while. It's not like against, you know, whatever. I do like a swim meet. I'm the swim meet guy for Antigua. I'm the swim timer for the country. I'm one of 2 people on island that knows how to use a Colorado System 6 timing setup with a meet manager and team manager, high tech software. It's a long story, but I'm the MC, DJ, and swim timer for all national level swim events in this country. So I mean, this is a non-paying job, right? No, you have no idea. I basically do a 3-day show that has a lot of elements of comedy, and I hold the mic for 3 days, for 3 straight days, like 6 hours a day for like a fucking Antiguan swim meet. And like I have an existential crisis every single time I do it. Like, how the fuck did I get here? Why am I doing this? Why is this happening? And I just destroy people that park selfishly, and I call them selfish parkers, and then we shame them into moving their cars. It's honestly an amazing performance art piece at this stage. No one has ever seen it, too, but you don't make art for that reason. Well, I mean, like, you know, some kids, some Caribbean parents, like a couple of my wife has seen the show. She can tell you about it. It's hilarious. It's just that's what I don't know. That's what I do.
That's why we're doing this podcast. Art for no one. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's good, right? No, I mean, I didn't think this was like, you know,
this
gonna really raise the eyebrows out there. Yeah, no, none of it's real. None of it's real.
Actually, on this episode.
It's all a sin. I'm excited to go gambling.
So you can play this summer.
I'm excited to go play. I want to go play. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna blast like I'm gonna like my kids' school lasts technically until the end of June. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to miss that much. But like, it's like garbage time after like the middle of June or something. So I think I'll like dip in, get like a good like 2 to 3 week run up before the main kind of vibe, slide in for the 1500 horse or some shit, you know, then just start just like peeling out bigger clips from there. And then next thing you know, you're like, you're like, how the fuck am I in this much? Like, I didn't think like, there's not even that many tournaments. Oh, okay. Well, then next year cash day too, and like, okay, all the expenses for everything. Oh yeah, spend some money there. I love it though. I don't know. I love it. It's fun. It's so much fun. And like, technically, you could win. Technically, you could win one year. Like, I mean, like, I might even win one year. Just even if I lose over at least 1 year, I'll just win, and then they'll be like, "Oh my god, oh you won! Oh yeah, I finally won." It'd be great.
Are you gonna, when you win, are you gonna put like the entire first place into a meme coin, like live on on the press conference that you'll obviously have after?
Honestly, I mean, in all seriousness, with the exception of like being way overweight frog JPEGs, like I'm pretty conservative, and like I just don't like. I know that it's so strange how like crypto to a lot of people is about like Bowden token and Donald Trump shit and like token, like it's like completely insane Ponzi-nomic games, and everybody, it's fun to play a Ponzi game if people like to play it. I don't. it's just not for me. Like these Solana meme coin things are just going insane these days. I don't get it. I don't understand. For me, crypto is like Bitcoin, Ethereum,
And
you
fraud
know,
payments.
Pepe Cash, XRP, but like not like it doesn't go too much deeper than that. Like things like Xano and Bitcoin Cash and like Dero and some other weird shit are like interesting to me. Monero's like an interesting as a privacy coin. And like some of these things are interesting, like just to watch them, to see if like they get adoption, to see if something happens. Like it's a brand new shit. It's not like nobody knows what you're supposed to do with any of this. And so it's just like it's interesting to watch some of them, but like really just Bitcoin is like an ETF now. Like there's an ETF for Bitcoin. There's like a Wall Street funnel connected to Bitcoin that like every day is just the last like 10 days is like a couple hundred million just has to be bought in Bitcoin. So like you can land anywhere in the world. The Human Rights Foundation talks about Bitcoin as like the number one freedom tool. If you have something like women in Afghanistan that you want to fund, and if you tried to go through the traditional banking routes, the Taliban would obviously scoop that money, would not let you just like infinitely fund millions of dollars into a cause that's against their ethos. So like, but Bitcoin, you can just airdrop that. And like, you know, you can do that. That works just about anywhere. Like if you throw Bitcoin anywhere in the world really right now, just about anywhere, even places that like you don't want to be. Like if you have Bitcoin in North Korea, you could probably bribe your way out of there. Like same thing in China, like same thing in like Iran and like other places and like just about everywhere in Africa. Africa is like very Bitcoin aware. And like the Middle East is very Bitcoin aware. And like, so is like Europe, even though it's like stupidly regulated, but like so overregulated, but still the Caribbean is aware of Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin ATMs on this tiny little rock in the middle of the ocean, you know, and the one next door, hopefully soon.
Is that
And
your
so,
business,
like,
the ATM business?
I do work for them. And then it's really, it's fun to try. Like I hold a little meetup too here where we just like talk about it. Just anybody come and ask any question about anything crypto related. I think that's important to like just like really spread the awareness because like especially out here, there's a lot of people that send money to other islands and that they're going through some service that charges them like maybe 10%, like, you know, 15%, maybe even worse. And it's like, well, you know, maybe you like save some money, like going crypto to crypto real, you know, right here. And then even if you need to end with fiat currency in another island, a lot of times you can find like a personal like connection and like go P2P on both sides and like, you know, you can get it done. You can like kind of solve your own problems like between you and your community without needing like some like blood sucking bank or some other service to like just really charge a huge rake for you. And it's usually a small transaction, couple hundred US.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's not the transaction that you want to rake. Like you want to like help people figure out how to do that like really cheaply and efficiently.
So you're in Antigua now kind of for the long haul? You're going to try to build up their crypto infrastructure and continue to make it to the Olympics with their swim team?
So actually, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that, Art. I've been here 8 years. My kid's grown up here since she was like 3. She's like 11 now. She's like a little Caribbean kid, basically. And it's a nicer environment to grow up for a kid. There's just like a lot of conversations you'd have to have a little earlier growing up a kid in Vegas. And it's just like a little bit, there's less services. There's less, you know, the Amazon doesn't drop every day. It takes 8 days and costs double. And like, you know, there's no DoorDash. You know, there's like, you're definitely missing, the self-driving Teslas would be worthless here. That's not going to work over here. And like big potholes in the road. There's like pluses and minuses to everywhere you live, but I like it. I like the weather. I like just like the freedom to like be able to do like weird shit. Like I might turn the tower into like a marble racing, like live stream thing and we try to bet on it. And like, there's just like some other weird shit that I would like to do. And like, it's just like, it's nice to like use this as this is like calm out here. Like you jump into the chaos of Vegas. I like to do that. That's so fun for me. But then you come back to like default calm. Like that's how I prefer to live now, just for the moment, you know, with an 11-year-old, like a wife and a kid. That's what I prefer. Then the wife and kid kind of like that better too. So that's where we're at now. You know, and like I'll probably stay out here. It's fun to try to build crypto Silicon Valley. Even if you fail, like it's still okay to be. It's still occupy yourself. But like I think you could really build something important and like a good. I think there's going to be a lot of like places that'll take a shot at building like a reasonable society I feel like America, like you go to like San Francisco, there's fentanyl zombies on the side of the road. You're just like, okay, this is not a reasonable society. Like I'm not giving this one my certification of like, this is good. I'd like to walk right by these fucks every day. And like, I don't know. I think that there's going to be a lot of like crypto fueled tinier societies, people trying to make a run at like, can you make your own little, maybe country, maybe just like area of a country where you have all the toys and like, the rules are reasonable.
Well, my family loves loves the Caribbean, and I got a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. Maybe I'll come down and visit and see if we hit it off.
Come on,
with the kids.
Come and check it out.
Do a couple marble races. Gamble some
dailies,
meme coins.
Dailies from Miami. There's the absolute most hilarious no limit Texas Hold'em cash game you will ever play that I will take you to.
Okay.
That runs every day except Friday, where everybody goes to the club. I swear to you, that's the rules, and it is a bit of comedy that if we live streamed it, it would immediately overtake whatever Doug Polk is doing or whatever the high stakes, whatever, instantly and immediately. It's like probably X-rated. I don't think it's like something for Twitch. It's got to be whatever the sketchy one is these days.
I got you.
The only fans for
call
poker.
right.
All right. Well, let's end on a story, because Pat Cruz told me that I'm supposed to ask you why you were at one point the best ping pong player in the world until you met Clint.
That's great. That's excellent. Shout out to the killer. I mean, Clint. One, your story is Clint. One, you should track down Clint wherever he's at, and like that's don't watch this shit. If they have that episode now, whoever's watching this, you're watching it later. Just stop this. You wasted this time. Go to the Clint episode. You wasted your time this time.
We're gonna do all the Clint stories around him, and then we're gonna find him, and he's gonna be like, "Whoa, don't blow up my spot. I'm not that good at basketball at all."
Killer's right. I'm pretty good at ping pong. Whenever you see a bunch of doctors like this past Thanksgiving at your sister's house, and they're like, oh, let's go play. Oh, I'm like, all right, can I get next? You guys thought you were good. They're talking shit when guy beats two guys, then he has to run into the buzzsaw, right? And so then it's over. And then so that's how it usually is. Like there's some World Series. Sorry, Maddie, but there's few World Series where I like would win high five, low six digits in ping pong in a night, and I'm usually heavily staked or I'm usually like on a free roll percentage. I'm not betting it, which actually probably help. You can really play a little bit easier when it's not your money. But I've been known to win at ping pong, just to beat people at ping pong. I can usually beat everybody, if it's just a usual group of, DJs. Like I can usually beat everybody in ping pong. And then then Clint, I didn't know Clint did I feel I got off so cheap here because Clint, if anybody ever does tell the proper story, he ran through this poker gambling world. And I mean, he ran through that shit with the most amazing prop bet winning streak that you probably have ever said. I mean, it's probably like Doyle shit. It's probably it's like old school gambler legend level destruction. I think he got Huck seed. That should probably tell you all you need to know. He won against Huck. Yeah, he beat Huck. So he was top of the top. And so this is another guy that blew into town. Then I first time meeting him, he's like, yeah, let's play ping pong, and I'm like, oh yes, we got the big fish. He did what Clint does. First, he beats me by a little bit, and then I just turn it up. He turns it up even more, and he just I think I lose 3 games. I think I lose 300-400 to him, and then that to me is I got away so cheap without. Yeah. I mean, barely a scuff. I mean, and just hear the stories. He beat the guy for 20,000 on the 3-point bet, on the free throw. 95% from the line, over 100 shots. You hear this all the time. I mean, you hear all the time. He torched. I mean, it's legend level now. Yeah, level.
I saw him beat a guy out of 500. Just they had a balled up napkin at the poker table, and there was a trash can 10 yards away. He's just you want to just first to make it 500? And the guy's like,
good.
sure. And he just makes it on the first one. It just gets
So
the thank
good.
you.
He was so good. I remember one World Series that I had long known about him, and like, I was respectful enough not to kill his action or whatever, like, and then, but he would see me, he would know, I know he did. I was just like, he's like, hey, and I just see him one summer. I just go outside. He's pitching quarters against the Rio side of the wall, and like this small crowd is gathered, everybody's screaming. And I'm like, I never got in to see what was even going on. I'm just running out to get high and running right back to the tournament. But like, I just see him pitching quarters against, and somebody's like, oh, like, like I'm just like, oh, that Clint. Oh, Clint. There he goes again.
Another notch on the bedpost.
That's what he's gonna do. Oh, that Clint. They say, rumor has that he's out playing on some semi-professional golf tour of some sort now. I swear to you, that's the rumor. I don't know. I'm sure we could look him up. Can we look? I mean, I'm sure he's like pretty easy to look up.
I'm sure we'll see him this summer. I'm sure.
Yeah, just look around the quarter pitching walls and basketball gyms at UNLV and all that, and you'll probably see some guy getting 50K bricks slid to him across the gym floor.
If you see a tall guy and with roller skates on at a basketball court, that's probably Clint, because he said he could make 60% 3-pointers with roller skates, all bank shots, and you're going to lose your money, even though that sounds absurd that no human could do that. Clint can do that.
It's funny when some people ascend. Some people lose their game, but some people stop coming around the World Series when they just ascend. They like ascend the gambling world. It's hard to ascend the gambling world. It really is. I mean, it's hard to
fall into it. All right. Well,
it's easy to descend.
You want to leave the people with before we wrap this up? I feel like we're
all right. I think we left it on the table. I think we left it all out there for them. I think they got it all.
Well, where can they follow the meme lord? Oh, I guess they
follow the meme world. You can. I don't know. I'm on Bryan Micon on Twitter. There you go. BRYAN MICON on Twitter, and Micon FPV on Instagram. Just maxed out. If you want to just give me a follow on there, just so that everybody sees who you follow. Then, like, if you just like a couple of things, you just like a few things down. Work the algorithm.
Work it.
All right, man.
Dude, thanks for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, you guys have a great podcast here. You guys are good at podcasting.
Hit us up when you actually get into town. It'd be nice to see you again. All dripped out.
I'll see you. I will see you at, where is it? Is it at the Horseshoe still? I will see you. I will see you at the Horseshoe.
We'll see you.
That's a threat.
Count on me.
Don't threaten me with a good time. See you at the fucking Horseshoe. See you at the fucking Paris, bitch.
All right, dude. Is that it? That's the pod?
No,
got
it is.
Oh my god. He's just out. What am I crowd?
Just like that. He's out of our lives.
All right. Bye, guys.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.